Tonight, into the inferno, the quick-thinking tradie trio who bolted into a burning Bridgewater home. A drunk driver's demolition derby, but the affected homeowners are far from flipping out. A face from isolation, an Adelaide patient speaks out to alleviate fears about what it's really like to have coronavirus. And why two southern suburb schools might be forced into a major merger.
This is 10 News First Adelaide with Alan Murrell.
Good evening. The moment a pair of hero tradies ran into a burning house at Bridgewater has been captured on video. The quick-thinking electricians smashed their way into the home, fearing someone was inside.
First on scene.
Hello? Is anybody inside?
And armed with the tricks of the trade.
Get me a shifter out of my van in that red bag. Yeah.
The electricians grabbing tools to disconnect the gas. After kicking in the door and smashing windows, they braved the burning Bridgewater home, fearing someone was inside.
Is anybody home?
They pulled the plug on the electricity and called firefighters to the Omra Street property. The trio stopping after spotting flames as they drove past just after 11 this morning.
It was just the kitchen on fire and we rocked up, and then within like 5-6 minutes the whole house started roaring and things were like exploding.
Within like a couple minutes it just took over, so I got pretty bad. I pulled the gas bottles, pulled the fuse, made sure it was as safe as possible.
The man who lives in the house alone was at a funeral as the flames destroyed the property. Residents grateful for the men who risked their lives to help their neighbour.
Really brave effort and commend them for that. They could have saved a life, yeah.
Firefighters say the actions of the tradies were heroic but also reckless. The CFS saying the trio could have badly hurt themselves.
We certainly wouldn't encourage people to be entering a burning building at any stage that does put themselves at risk.
The cause is yet to be determined. Damage is estimated at $200,000. Hannah Ford for 10 News First.
A drunk driver has crashed and flipped his car right into a home at Sturt, but he earned the sympathy of the occupants when he returned to apologise.
It's remarkable the driver wasn't seriously injured after the car ended up on its roof here on busy Sturt Road. It was also a close call for the residents who got a rude shock when it happened just after 5:30 this morning. The Toyota was headed west along Sturt Road when the 47-year-old driver lost control, slammed into a fence, then launched onto the veranda, smashing a front window of the 140-year-old home. Police say the driver, who was unlicensed, was breath tested, allegedly returning a blood alcohol reading of 0.07. The Adamson family runs a business out of their home and says while this may disrupt them slightly, they're not angry at the driver. They say that he actually returned to their address this morning to apologise for what happened. They actually recognise him from years ago in their local sporting community. Regardless, they say they're grateful no one was seriously hurt.
God knows how he walked away from it, but he did.
I'm actually feeling really sorry for him. He was distraught. This was really significant to him. He depended on that car to drive his incapacitated mum around.
The driver has been reported for drink driving and driving unlicensed. He fronts court at a later date.
And a truck rollover blocked the top of Kensington Road earlier today. The flatbed loaded with concrete slabs was reversing around a bend onto Redenow Crescent when it tipped, landing diagonally across the road. Despite the damage caused to the truck and the slabs, the driver said it could have been far worse.
We're just idling here, just pedalling it up the hill slowly, and over she went.
The driver was not injured in the crash, and by late this afternoon the road had still not been cleared. South Australia's latest coronavirus patient has spoken out from within isolation ward at the Royal Adelaide Hospital. Brett Dean, who flew in for the Adelaide Festival, in good spirits despite missing his own show.
We're hearing so much about coronavirus, now we hear from an actual patient.
I'm in pretty good spirits, they're looking after me wonderfully. I've even got ocean views, as you can see.
Renowned conductor and violist Brett Dean arrived in Adelaide from Taiwan on Tuesday with a symphony of symptoms. Placed in isolation at the Royal Adelaide yesterday, he'll miss his concert at Town Hall tomorrow night, but the show must go on.
I am obviously very disappointed not to be with you.
3 people he had contact with from the Adelaide Festival are now in self-isolation.
Brett's contact with others has been so limited and not with any members of the orchestra, and none of the people who will be in and around the venue means that we can assure people that there is no risk in attending the concert.
As for the rest of Mad March, our Chief Public Health Officer says there's not yet a need to cancel public events, as has been done overseas. But if you're sick,
I do urge you to think about the health and well-being of other people at the event and make a decision to stay away.
As the world prays for an end to the epidemic, there will be a few changes to Sunday Mass. The Catholic Archdiocese of Adelaide says there'll be no more drinking wine from the chalice or wafers put directly on the tongue. Panic setting in as SA Health waits on the test results of 15 high-risk people. The federal government today approving an extra $1 billion in emergency funding to be spread between the states.
We're focused on Australians, protecting Australians, their health and their well-being.
Chloe Boris for 10 News First.
Despite Australia's limited cases, the global coronavirus outbreak is already hitting one of our key industries hard. Tourism is in freefall with an unprecedented drop in international visitors. Airlines are also struggling as travellers rush to cancel bookings amid a spate of travel bans and restrictions.
The coronavirus crisis is pinching hard on Queensland's Sunshine Coast.
People aren't travelling, aren't dining out. Demand for prawns has dropped right off. Prices have dropped and, we're building stock and getting hard to sell.
Australia has seen a 56% downturn in international flight bookings over the past month, plus widespread cancellations for autumn.
Well, coronavirus is having a massive impact in Queensland. We're seeing hundreds of millions of dollars lost from the tourism industry, and already businesses are shedding jobs.
Globally, airlines stand to lose up to $170 billion.
Australia is still an amazing country to visit. It's still a safe country to visit.
Tourism and trade ministers from around the country have met in Canberra. With travel bans in place for China, Iran and South Korea, the industry needs to focus on markets such as the United States and the UK, where people are still willing to travel.
We are working as hard as we possibly can to stimulate demand, to help them with that cash flow, but we know that some will still require additional assistance.
Labor wants more money quarantined outside the bounty put aside following our Black Summer.
That $76 million has to go to the bushfire relief and the government has to expand the envelope of money.
But the minister says he's been clear, the money is for all communities. A targeted support package is in the works, but the industry says it needed the money yesterday. The Commonwealth has, however, committed an extra $4 million to continue encouraging Aussies to holiday at home. The campaign appears to be working.
Between 50 and 70,000 in the town on the Saturday and Sunday.
Now that's something to stomp and cheer about. Tegan George for 10 News First.
The future of a southern suburbs high school is increasingly uncertain, with an option to close its doors being considered. The Education Minister launching a review that could also recommend that Springbank Secondary College merge with Unley High.
It looks like school's nearly out at Springbank Secondary College. The Education Minister has announced he's initiated a 3-month review that will look at closing down the campus by the end of the year. Now, this comes after it was revealed that 90% of public high school students living in Springbank Zone aren't actually enrolled at the school. Now, this review will start in 3 weeks, and if it does decide to close down the campus, Springbank and its zone will merge with Unley High School.
Room would be made at Unley for those students. If there was another school that they felt was more appropriate for their needs, then we would make every effort to ensure that they were able to get into that school.
We have that ability to add things like the classroom pods that they're looking at next door at Mitcham Girls, those sorts of things to start next year where students will have learning areas.
$32 million upgrades are already underway at Unley, but the Education Minister did flag that more money could be coming if it does merge with Springbank. Staff have also been reassured that they won't lose their jobs, but it's not yet known what will happen to Springbank's 37 students with special needs. The government says it's one of its key considerations in the review.
Neighbours have rescued a dog from a suspicious house fire at Oaklands Park. Fire crews were called to Lucknow Street just after 7:30 last night. One room has been gutted, with the damage bill estimated at $40,000. The occupants weren't home at the time. 2,500 people have taken part in Adelaide's International Women's Day breakfast. The Adelaide breakfast is the largest event of its kind in Australia, raising funds for the United Nations. Senator Penny Wong was joined by guest speakers addressing an audience of men and women of all ages on the importance of gender equality and the barriers that remain for women all over the world.
It celebrates International Women's Day. It speaks to women of all generations about what we've done and what we have to do, and it recommits us to the goal of equality.
The event was held ahead of the official International Women's Day on Sunday. Well, Will Goodings is here with sport and Robbie Gray is A-OK.
That's right, Al. He's had to pass a fitness test to prove that he can play tomorrow. We'll have those pictures coming up in sport. Also, the Crows make a slow start against the Suns. Plus, a familiar South African semi-final flop puts Australia into the final. It's coming up, Al.
Thank you very much. Look forward to it. Thank you, Will. Australians caught up on another coronavirus cruise ship. That's next. Plus, Harvey Weinstein finally forced to face up to a life in jail. And NASA unveils its newest space explorer.
It's just another day in camp. And then it changes. Just like that. Bang. What's happened? What's happened? What's the matter? We don't know what's going on. We got no idea. It's devastating for all of us. It's a tragedy.
The shock departure. 7:30 Monday.
Get road trip ready with the latest super cheap auto catalogue. 25% off Century 4x4 batteries. And export 400 gram degreaser, $1.65 each when you buy 12. Save $1.14 each.
Harvey Norman's Super Saturday with 60 months interest-free. Asus 14-inch laptop only $286 with Microsoft Office 365 included. Sony 55-inch 4K Smart TV just $995. The Simpson front-load washer and dryer package only $795. Wow! Sinclair 3-piece leather lounge suite with 4 reclining actions $2699. Up to 50% off mattresses, ensembles and Manchester. Plus bonus delivery on bedding purchases over $999. Plus many more super deals in-store and online. Super Saturday only at Harvey Norman.
No. Silly possum catcher. If only he'd compared. Possums do nothing all day. You can help save you money. Is this the end?
No! It's just cliffhanger.
It pays to compare. Search Compare the Market. Simples.
Got my plant-based Rebel Whopper, your triple Whopper cheese.
And my double Homestyle Whopper.
Try Hungry Jack's new Homestyle Whopper with iBacon, barbecue, chipotle and crispy bacon. Whopper your way. Only at Hungry Jack's.
Oak and Iron Dining, Thriller Pizza, functions, conferences and weddings, coffee and cake, Heritage Gardens. A whole day out awaits at Ockendoric House, just 20 minutes up the freeway at Mount Barker.
The Mazda stock clearance ends soon. Get the 7-seat Mazda CX-9 from only $45,990 drive away. See your local Mazda dealer today.
You've got those extra couple of days where you can really get stuck into those bigger projects. Head on into Bunnings, make sure you've got your list so you pick up everything you need.
And then smash out over your long weekend.
Shop at Bunnings wherever you are, whenever you want.
All the biggest celebrities.
Yes.
But only the best bits.
Yeah.
The Graham Norton Show, tonight on 10.
Tonight, Billie Jean King joins us to chat about her powerful serves on and off the court.
Why the government won't do the one thing that's guaranteed to boost our struggling economy.
We're stacking the show full of comedians, including Nikki Osborne and an up-and-comer Peter Hellier.
And what to do if panic buyers have left you low on loo rolls. 2 words for you: adult diapers.
All that and a lot more coming up at 6:30 tonight. We'll all see you then.
The UN estimates 290 million children across the world are now missing class because of the coronavirus. 13 countries have shut down their schools to deal with the spread. While off California, Australians are among thousands of passengers trapped on a cruise ship where there are fears of an outbreak.
Barred from docking in San Francisco, the US Coast Guard delivers coronavirus test kits to the Grand Princess cruise ship by air, where several dozen passengers are showing flu-like symptoms.
We have a few folks getting ready.
The liner and 3,500 people, including 4 Australians on board, was ordered to return from Hawaii. When it emerged, 3 previous passengers had been infected with the virus. One has since died.
I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home to my family because I don't want to take anything to them.
It's now killed 12 people in the US, 11 of them from Washington state. And concern is also spreading about a shortage of test kits.
Mr. President, when will more tests be available?
He didn't answer, leaving it to his vice president.
We don't have enough tests today to meet what we anticipate will be the demand going forward.
Across the Atlantic, Britain has recorded its first COVID-19 death, while 5,000 people are now confirmed to be infected in Europe. Italy remains the continent's worst affected, with its death toll today jumping to 148. The impact on the world's most famous tourist sites is clear, even from space.
We're concerned that some countries have either not taken this seriously enough or have decided there is nothing they can do.
Worrying for a disease which clearly knows no borders. Adam Gleeson for 10 News First.
The race to take on Donald Trump in November has narrowed again, with Elizabeth Warren dropping out. She pulled the plug on her campaign 2 days after failing to make any real impact on Super Tuesday and embarrassingly finishing 3rd in her own state.
One of the hardest parts of this is all those big promises and all those little girls who are going to have to wait 4 more years.
Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders will now battle it out before the Democratic convention in Milwaukee in July. Russia and Turkey have agreed on a ceasefire in an attempt to stop a full-blown conflict erupting in war-torn Idlib. The agreement will see joint patrols, a security corridor and an end of hostilities between the two forces. The Syrian town has been the flashpoint for the country's civil war for some time and most recently the scene of attacks by Russian and Turkish forces on each other. Harvey Weinstein is finally behind bars after being sent to hospital for a minor heart operation straight after he was convicted of rape. The disgraced Hollywood producer has been transferred to New York's notorious Rikers Island prison, where he's recovering from the procedure in the jail's medical ward. He'll remain there until his sentencing next week, but is also planning an appeal. Meet Perseverance, NASA's newest Mars rover that's set to blast off in just a few months. Students across the US submitted more than 28,000 potential names in a nationwide competition, with a 12-year student from Virginia selected as the winner. The rover will launch in July alongside a special helicopter designed to map out routes for future rovers. The sounds of WOMAD will echo across Adelaide this weekend. Kate Freeban, there's a new addition to the lineup.
Yeah, Alan, Ziggy Marley was WOMAD's headline act and he cancelled yesterday, but at short notice they have managed to get an Aussie star to fly in to take his place. On Monday night, Matt Corby will play, which will be absolutely huge. The scene is set, the gates have just opened and people are wandering through right now, and earlier today we were given a taste of what is first up on stage tonight. These are the Blind Boys of Alabama. They're gospel legends, they're all vision impaired, and their sounds of the American South have won them 5 Grammys. They're incredible and they're performing again tomorrow, so don't miss out if you're heading along. Hailing from Greece, you can also catch the upbeat tunes of Marina Sati and Phones, an all-female group that celebrates equality, pride and tolerance. The artists, they've come from all over the world, some big names like the Cat Empire and Kate Miller-Heidke, but the big one now, of course, is the ARIA award-winning Matt Corby.
to finish the festival with his kind of youthful energy, and as an Australian artist as well, it's great actually. Cat Empire, who've had a long history with this festival, starting on tonight and finishing with Matt, it's quite a nice bookend.
And the weather is absolutely perfect for the long weekend. Tomorrow should be mostly sunny, heading for a top of 25 degrees and slightly warmer on Sunday and Monday. Alan, I'll have all of the details for the weather over the weekend live from WOMAD at 5 to 6.
Thank you, Kate. Well, it wasn't all fast downhills on the share market roller coaster today. We'll tell you where the virus scares had some positive effects next. Plus, the Sussex swan song, Harry and Meghan begin their final royal round. And still ahead, the technology creating some magic moments to help local dementia sufferers turn the tables on their condition.
If you've got a story or pictures you want to share with us, you'll find 10 News Adelaide on Facebook and Twitter, and for more throughout your day, head to the 10 Daily website.
The celebrities keep stepping it up with their best dancing yet.
That was fire.
It's the best I've seen you dance.
We are about to ramp the intensity up to an all-new, gut-churning high.
The best dancing is still to come on 10's Dancing with the Stars Sunday.
Harvey Norman's Super Saturday with 60 months interest-free. Asus 14-inch laptop only $286 with Microsoft Office 365 included. Sony 55-inch 4K Smart TV just $995. This Simpson front-load washer and dryer package only $795. Wow! Sinclair 3-piece leather lounge suite with 4 reclining actions $2699. Up to 50% off mattresses, ensembles and Manchester. Plus bonus delivery on bedding purchases over $999. Plus many more super deals in-store and online. Super Saturday only at Harvey Norman. Go! Monteam and Barossa Ford are your kings of Ranger. Get over $8,000 added value on King Pack Ranger XLT from only $51,690 drive away. Exclusive to your kings of Ranger. 3 great locations. Hurry.
We go big, we go bold. We go big, we go bold.
Every tub of Häagen-Dazs ice cream starts with 4 simple ingredients, with a selection of the finest flavours, creating a decadent, velvety ice cream. Häagen-Dazs. Take home extraordinary tonight.
With a home loan rate this low, the party's at your place. Celebrate with our lowest ever variable rate. Get a better home loan from Police Credit Union. Call, visit a branch or apply online.
Introducing new Jumpstart by Light and Easy, the new program that will help fast-track your weight loss success in 2020.
When I saw the weight loss on the scales, that definitely motivated me.
The change that I got from Light and Easy was bigger than what I could have expected.
Jumpstart combines the proven weight loss results of intermittent eating with Light and Easy's delicious summer meal plans.
Light and Easy is life-changing.
Jumpstart your 2020 weight loss goals today with Light and Easy. Jump online to find out more.
Low prices and free delivery on millions of items. Easy as amazon.com.au.
It makes sense to shop at Macleay's bulk store. Your parents, in fact your grandparents probably did. Carpet up to 60% off, rolls and remnants, a bit like me. Floating floors with exciting new colours. Coghlan Street, Brompton.
When life gives you, how did that get under theiriness? Godfrey's gives you cleanliness. Hoover Stick Vacuum $149, save $150. Ecovacs D-Bot 600, $349, save $50. Godfrey's cleanliness.
New season of Ambulance UK, Saturday on 10.
A chateau in France, life under the Tuscan sun, making it in New York, and school on horseback. The Aussies living the good life abroad, how they did it and how you can too. We are globetrotting. Monday on Studio 10.
Well, any ground that was made up yesterday certainly fell away today. The ASX shaken once again by coronavirus. More than 2.8% was wiped off the benchmark. The big banks led the falls. NAB down more than 5.5%, its lowest level since 2012. The outbreak is still smashing travel stocks. Qantas fell 8.5% and the airline has now announced cuts to more than a dozen Asian routes. Also, not a great day for retail. Myer, among those hit hardest, it hit a record low today following the release of January retail figures. Now, they were not pretty. The largest back-to-back fall since the GFC, down 0.3%. And while we don't yet know the true impact of coronavirus will have on the sector, right now it is causing a little bit of a lift in spending, particularly on the web. Online grocery sales have gone up 45% in the last few weeks, and it's pantry staples that are really flying off the virtual shelves. The demand for pasta up 76%, eggs not too far behind, rice has increased by more than 50%, as has long life milk, and of course, toilet paper up 51%. Now, one of the very few upsides to this global panic is the price of petrol. In the last week, global prices have fallen by 14% due to a downturn in manufacturing and air travel overseas. And that means now is really the time to fill up, because petrol hasn't been this cheap since February last year. And speaking of dollars, time to look at the currencies now. We're down against most of the majors, buying just over 66 US cents.
The eyes of the world were on Harry and Meghan for their first joint engagement in the UK since striking a deal to leave the royal family. A week from now, their British commitments will be over.
A typically British wet welcome for one of the last times Harry and Meghan will step out as royals. But it didn't dampen their spirits. Hand in hand and beaming for the Endeavour Trust Awards, their first official engagement as a couple since announcing plans to quit. Despite the fallout from their split from the family, it was a united front from the Sussexes.
They're watching the videos all the way in Canada.
The awards recognise injured service personnel who use sport in their rehabilitation. It's a cause very close to Harry's heart, but the next time he attends, it will be in a private capacity. Although that didn't seem to matter last night, one award winner pushing his luck a step further. Brits seem to be coming to terms with Mexit.
I think they've got their own decisions to make and it's up to them. However, I feel desperately sorry for the Queen.
I support them 100%, yeah. They're free people and they can make their own decisions in life.
While Meghan and Harry prepare to step down, William and Kate are stepping up. The Cambridges have already taken on increased responsibilities from the Queen over the last year, and now their workload is set to get even heavier. The future King and Queen are drawing on the Irish charm this week. Winning hearts and minds, vital after a turbulent year for the palace. Before Meghan and Harry leave, there will be one last family reunion on Monday at the Commonwealth Service at Westminster Abbey. Phoebe Bowden for 10 News First, London.
Alarm in the aged care sector that our most vulnerable Australians will bear the brunt of the coronavirus. A nursing home patient already among the deaths. That's next. Also, an Adelaide driver admits killing his mate, but now his own injuries are affecting his court case. And a rare auction offering up some Australian military might.
It's just another day in camp. And then it changes. It's devastating for all of us. It's a tragedy.
The shock departure, 7:30 Monday.
Are you living with a particular health condition? Do you need help getting out of your chair? The Posture Chair Company has the perfect solution for your needs. Each chair is made to measure and built to support your whole body. Handcrafted right here on our Adelaide premises and backed by our 100% comfort guarantee. Call now and book a free in-home measure and save $400 on your tailor-made recliner. Or visit our showroom and find the chair that suits your needs. The Posture Chair Company.
All right, what do you want to eat?
Can you come here quickly?
Every tub of Haagen-Dazs ice cream starts with 4 simple ingredients, with a selection of the finest flavours, creating a decadent, velvety ice cream. Haagen-Dazs. Take home extraordinary tonight.
Kids live in the rapid lane. They don't have time for head lice. KP24 Rapid kills head lice and their eggs in just 10 minutes. KP24 Rapid. If you have nits, just KP it.
Whose round is it? Pretty sure it's Dave's. Hey.
Still saving for a deposit? Build with Weeks and get into a new home sooner. Check out the Fusion series. With homes starting from just $150K, you'll get more with Weeks.
On-trend hybrid flooring has the durability needed for busy Aussie homes. Right now at Solomon's, our all-new ranges of hybrid flooring start from just $43 per square metre. Solomon's, on style, on value, on now.
There's magic in a Solomon's store.
At Officeworks, we print all sorts of things for all sorts of businesses. Imagine the print possibilities for your business. Officeworks, helping you make bigger things happen.
Get the year off to a great start with 7 years warranty plus 2 years free servicing on the new Pajero Sport, now available with Expedition Accessory Pack. So hurry into Mitsubishi. The time of your life starts now.
When it comes to dealing with mental health, there's care.
You missed another meeting, mate. Everything all right?
And there's the uncommon care you get with HCF.
Hi, Daniel.
Connecting eligible members to a range of online mental health services, such as video chat with a professional.
Great session.
As Australia's largest not-for-profit health fund, we put people before profit. That's uncommon care.
Is your home loan feeling more like a life sentence? Then it's time to break free. With Me's lowest ever variable home loan rate. And join Australia's most satisfied home loan customers.
What does being the #1 tennis player in the world taste like? Well, I don't know. It's kind of a little bit something like it would be. Yeah, that's it. Vegemite. Tastes like Australia.
The best dancing is still to come on 10's Dancing with the Stars.
It's the best I've seen you dance.
Live 7:30 Sunday.
This is Adelaide's 10 News First tonight's headlines. A trio of Hero Hills tradies has dashed into a burning Bridgewater home, fearing someone might be trapped inside. A drunk driver has flipped out on Sturt Road, but returned to apologise to the owners of the home he damaged. And emergency federal funding's being divvied out to the states to combat coronavirus. The number of South Australian infections stands at 7. Including a conductor here for the festival who's spoken out from his isolation bed. But a battle plan is being drafted for how to protect our most vulnerable. Crisis talks have been held in Canberra with key stakeholders from the aged care sector to discuss drastic measures that might need to be taken if things get worse.
We're not yet at the stage we need to avoid handshakes.
Welcome, ready for the flight? We're ready, yes.
But the coronavirus threat is causing widespread panic. Today, the Aged Care Minister and the Chief Medical Officer hosted crisis talks in Canberra.
It does disproportionately affect older people and people with comorbidities.
Which is why they met with key players in the aged care industry.
What the main purpose of discussion for today is how we would manage a larger scale community outbreak that might potentially threaten residential aged care facilities.
Ensuring that we are doing everything that we possibly can to be properly prepared is really important.
None are more at risk than the elderly.
We do deal with seasonal influenza outbreaks from time to time, but this is the novel coronavirus. This is uncharted territory in some respects.
And there was another confirmed case today, an aged care worker at Sydney's Dorothy Henderson Lodge, where a 95-year-old woman died from the virus earlier this week.
Well, what else can we be doing, and what can we learn from the example of the infection in the residential facility in New South Wales?
Some staff refused to turn up to work after the outbreak because they were concerned about endangering their own family members.
We need to provide them with the confidence that they can go to work, they can continue to care for senior Australians, and they themselves will be okay as part of that process too.
Amber Austin-Wright for 10 News First.
2 former senior South Australian public servants have been arrested following an ICAC investigation. The anti-corruption watchdog says the pair claimed travel expenses, including airfares, accommodation and meals, that were for private purposes, and then tried to cover it up. A 62-year-old man from Goodwood is facing charges of abusing public office, acting dishonestly, deception and dishonestly dealing with documents. A 44-year-old Henley Beach woman's also charged with abusing public office and acting dishonestly. A 20-year-old man has admitted to causing the crash that killed his mate in the southern suburbs in 2018. Callum Shannon was behind the wheel of the car when it rolled at Chandler's Hill, killing his 19-year-old passenger. He's pleaded guilty to aggravated death by dangerous driving, but the case has been delayed until May for a report on the brain injury Shannon sustained in the crash. And a 50-year-old man has pleaded guilty to killing a woman in a crash near the Riverland nearly 5 years ago. Ian Clark today admitted to killing Loxton woman Leanne Smith at Annandale in May 2015 while driving dangerously. He was remanded on continuing bail also until May. The sacked former minister who took the blame for the sports rorts saga today tried to wash her hands of the whole mess. Bridget McKenzie seeming to throw the Prime Minister's office under the bus in the process.
The sports rorts saga has taken a nasty turn for the Prime Minister.
Okay.
With former Sports Minister Bridget McKenzie making her first public comments since stepping down, using a media release to clarify she did not make any changes to the signed approval of grants dated 4 April last year, and any changes made were unbeknown to her. Not that the PM is answering questions.
Prime Minister, just on sports grants.
I'm dealing with coronavirus.
Unable or unwilling to do two things at the same time. We know there were 9 changes to the sports grants after 4 April.
We had one project be removed from the list of those being approved for funding and another project coming in substitution. Later that day we had one project coming out and 9 more coming in.
So how did that happen without McKenzie's say-so? Given
the authorisation of the projects was provided by the Minister for Sport. She was the one authorised to provide those authorisations, and that's what she did, and that is the fact.
If McKenzie did not authorise the changes, were they even legal? And who approved them without the Minister's say-so? The only possibilities are one of her staffers or someone inside the office of the Prime Minister.
Well, if Bridget McKenzie didn't make changes after the 4th of April, the question is, who did?
The plot thickens as the PM stonewalls.
Prime Minister, just on sports grants.
I'm dealing with coronavirus.
Peter Van Onselen for 10 News First.
2 of the state's top public servants leading the bushfire recovery have left their roles. Tony Harrison has stepped down as the head of the Department of Human Services after 4 years in the job. He follows Department of Primary Industries boss Scott Ashby, who finishes up today.
They're both leaving right in the middle of a bushfire recovery. That is unusual, and I think it raises questions around the state government's response to bushfire recovery generally.
The shake-up follows the sacking of 4 senior public servants when Premier Stephen Marshall took power 2 years ago. A woman has somehow managed to walk away uninjured after crashing her car in spectacular fashion into the front yard of a Melbourne home. She became airborne before smashing into a parked van, all of it captured on home security cameras.
The only thing standing between a sleeping couple and an out-of-control car was a van. The hatchback narrowly missed a tree and a power pole as it careered through a brick fence, then crashed into the parked vehicle, tipped it over and landed on top.
The car would have gone straight into my parents' bedroom, which would be probably a lot more tragic.
The family of 3 woke to chaos outside the Burwood home just after 10:30 last night.
Airbags deployed, car was propped up and parked car had essentially turned over, a bit of a diesel on the ground because of the car collision.
With the hatchback propped in a precarious position, firefighters were called to help the woman behind the wheel get out safely.
You could see the lady was moving in the car.
The 26-year-old driver wasn't hurt, but paramedics took her to hospital as a precaution. Police are now looking into what caused the crash.
At the end of the day, it's just materials, and as long as no one was hurt, insurance should cover everything.
Estelle Lewis for 10 News First.
Some rare Australian Air Force planes are up for auction, expected to fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars each. But the price tag hasn't slowed interest from cashed-up buyers from around the world.
Their wings have been clipped for now, but these PC-9s have plenty of life still in them, so they're going under the hammer.
2, 1... So the auction is live.
Just 265 of these planes were built worldwide. This is what they're capable of. Last year, 10 News First was lucky enough to be welcomed on board for one of the PC-9's final roulette displays before the Royal Australian Air Force retired the fleet.
I pay big bucks for this.
Now you can. Gretchen and James Barlow from Las Vegas were the first to place bids this morning.
Have you got a budget?
We do have a budget.
Contractors for the US Department of Defence, this is their plan.
And they'd be fitted with the 25-pound practice bombs, and we'd fly them across the country to military bases to train airstrike controllers.
Also up for grabs, this Black Hawk fuselage, 4 gliders and more than 100,000 parts.
Is that this fuel cell is actually unserviceable.
Well, what would someone do with it?
Well, they could just take this home and put it in their garage.
Really?
It just looks cool, doesn't it?
It does look cool.
18 PC-9s will be sold during the unreserved online pickles auction. The plane's replacements, the PC-21s, will roar above Melbourne's Grand Prix track ahead of the Formula One. Tune in tomorrow for our exclusive ride. Christina Costalis for 10 News First.
A new games gadget is improving the lives of residents with dementia. In a trial in a South Australian nursing home, the technology is activating parts of the brain not affected by the disease, resulting in more interaction, laughter and fun.
Brightening the lives of those living with dementia. An Adelaide nursing home is trialling new technology developed in the Netherlands to stimulate physical and cognitive activity.
You were there a minute ago and you've disappeared.
Arachne's over here.
How did you know that? Sly.
From popping bubbles to playing with puppies. The games are beamed onto a table, working to activate parts of the brain not affected by dementia.
Yeah, you got to think right. Which is a bit hard. It's your brain up here.
Bringing residents who haven't been active in a while out of their shells.
And all of a sudden you see the smiles, you see them talking, you see them laughing. It is such a beautiful thing. I'm so happy for them.
A new way to keep busy instead of the usual.
Sit and watch some ancient programme on TV.
Is this a bit more fun?
This is a lot of fun.
Nearly 1 in 10 Australians over the age of 65 has dementia, including more than half the residents in aged care facilities. With that number only expected to grow, so does the need for ways to improve the lives of those affected.
I do hope that by the end of this year, almost every nursing home would have this.
Gemma Chapman for 10 News First.
Now, Will is back with sport. How are the Crows going?
Well, they've got a bit of work to do in the second half, Alan. They trailed by 10 points at half-time, and it's been a surprisingly willing contest. You'll see all the highlights coming up in sport. That's ahead. Also, a perfect pre-season has Ken Hinkley optimistic, and Australia flexes its muscle against Brazil.
Aussie comedian Nikki Osborne joins us live. That's next.
The celebrities keep stepping it up with their best dancing yet.
That was fire. It's the best I've seen you dance. We are about to ramp the intensity up to an all-new, gut-churning high.
The best dancing is still to come on 10th Dancing with the Stars Sunday.
Can you guess why I picked it?
We all pick things with our heart, but when it comes to car insurance, it pays to pick with your head.
If you're 25 or over, we'll beat any comparable comprehensive renewal notice. Plus, save up to 15% online. And as a Woolworths car insurance customer, get 10% off your grocery shop each month. So get a quote online and switch today.
That's why I pick Woolies car insurance.
I love how matte surfaces in nature hold light, how they diffuse the light. Like Colorbond Steel Matte, they're strong, enduring, yet subtle in their beauty.
Do we have to be the same to belong?
No. I grew up always being different. I'm from the city and I'm a country singer, so we're all unique and different in our own ways. Just be who you are.
Smooth, delicious McCafe coffee. Barista made with care and craft. Buy any 5 McCafe drinks and get one free. Download the My Macca's app to grab yours today.
New Excellence respects as you colour with its caring colouring process and new caring post-colour shampoo and lightweight nourishing mask. New Excellence by L'Oreal Paris. More caring than ever. Because you're worth it.
During the Nick Scali Autumn Sale, prices are falling. Save up to half price on quality furniture for a limited time. The Nick Scali Autumn Sale, on now.
Colac, Victoria, the home of ice cream. It's where we take fresh local milk and cream, free-range eggs and 90 years of know-how to craft our creamiest, premiumest ice cream. Bulla Murray Street.
Get a $2,000 trade-in bonus now on selected demonstrators at City Mazda, the home of the 24-hour test drive. Go to city-mazda.com.au.
A hotel. Cool. An apartment. Or a house.
Explore more options with Trivago to find the perfect place for your stay. Hotel Trivago.
With AHM Flexi Limit, you can use your included extras how you want, like more general dental or chiro, because you should be able to choose more of what you want. Join direct at ahm.com.au today. AHM, the simple bit.
It makes sense to shop at Macleay's bulk store. Your parents, in fact your grandparents probably did. Vinyl flooring, less than half price, full and part rolls. Floating floors with exciting new colours. Coghlan Street, Brompton.
All the biggest celebrities.
Yes.
But only the best bits.
Yeah.
The Graham Norton Show, tonight on 10.
Good evening. Weeks out from the season opener and the Crows are struggling against the Suns. The third quarter is just about to begin with Adelaide trailing Gold Coast by 10 points.
Hugh Greenwood wanted to go head-to-head with Rory Sloane and didn't have to wait long.
Sloane comes in and lays a great wing tackle on Greenwood, who took him on.
The Crows showed some early jitters with mistakes at both ends, and those errors gifted Gold Coast the first goal.
Keeps it low and drills it.
They soon had a second thanks to some silky skills from Took Miller.
That was beautifully creative. That was a work of art from there.
The Suns were shining up until Darcy Fogarty put the Crows on the board.
Never in doubt.
The key forward was treating the trial game as if it was round one. Another not taking a backward step was Tom Lynch.
He split Lynch. Brody ran straight through him there.
He managed to get up but had to be helped off the ground. Lynch soon returned to the boundary sporting a black eye.
He doesn't look, well, he's not concussed, he's coming back on, so just a split eye and that's it.
Nothing was going right either on the field until Seedsman launched a 50-metre bomb.
Had a sider and they've got their third.
Fisher Mackesy then kicked Truly for his first goal in the tricolours as the Crows clawed back. Jace Kemp for 10 News First.
Robbie Gray has passed a fitness test and will play for Port Adelaide tomorrow against the Dogs. The Whaler game is the Power's final hit-out before round one, and unsurprisingly, Ken Hinkley is optimistic about his troops' 2020 prospects.
Underneath the flashy red boots, Robbie Gray is nursing a not-so-flash bruised foot. It was kicked at training last week and took a fitness test and long discussion with the medicos today to finally get the tick of approval.
He's in really good shape, and I suppose he's just wanting to make sure he stays in really good shape for round one. Look, if there's any risk with any of our players for this round, we wouldn't take that chance, but Robbie will play.
So will Brad Ebert. The veteran has had a full schedule this pre-season as he tries to rediscover his fitness and form.
Brad's really comfortable with where he's at. Effectively, Brad didn't play much football from round 6 last season, so we're actually giving him some more game time to make sure we get him in the best shape we can to make him available for us for round 1.
Notably absent from the Whyalla trip is Peter Laddams, slated to form a ruck tandem with Scott Lycett this year. Instead, it will be mostly up to the former Eagle tomorrow.
Pete's fine, he didn't play last week, he was sick. So he missed out on a game, so that's probably hurt him a little bit. We've got to make a decision on what we're going to look for round 1, and at this stage it looks like Scott's in front.
Injured vice-captain Ollie Wines made the trip up to train with teammates. He's targeting an early season return, while Jack Watts is the only other injured power player, currently dealing with a minor calf issue. Other than that, everyone is healthy and the coach is feeling buoyant.
Overall, if you could say we had a perfect pre-season, we've nearly had a perfect pre-season.
As far as country footy grounds go, this is about as good as it's going to get for the Power and Dogs. Whyalla's Bennett Oval had a $2.8 million upgrade in the off-season. They put in a new grandstand and the turf, well, that's looking pretty mint as well. Tomorrow's game will be the first real test.
And you see what the quality of the grass and the stuff that the boys get to run around on. This obviously takes a lot of effort by a lot of people in the community, and they all should get a big pat in the back.
Max Burford for 10 News First, Whyalla.
Erin Phillips' comeback from a torn ACL was short-lived. The co-captain pulled up sore after making her return, and with a 6-day turnaround, she won't play against North Melbourne tomorrow.
No, I'm not overly concerned. I think, look, I've been out for almost 11 months. That was my first game back after 11 months, and you can't simulate game speed.
Replacing her is Jamie Tabb. A turbulent tournament has only made the Australian team hungrier to claim the T20 World Cup. They face India in Sunday's final and feel better placed to beat them than when the countries clashed in the tournament earlier.
It hasn't been a peaceful journey to the decider. Still, the Aussie women have made it to Melbourne, and like Katy Perry, they're ready to roar.
Hopefully I'm dancing with her at the end, but I think we're all pretty big Katy Perry fans, and I'm not sure who's not.
They even seem to have the dance moves ready for what would be a killer concert, Jack Rewalt style, if Australia can defend its title in front of hopefully more than 90,000 people at the MCG.
It's sort of been like imagining that in my head for the last 6 months, so hopefully that comes into fruition.
While the stage is now set for the hosts, they still need to get past India, who used spin to win against Australia in the opening match of the tournament.
We've definitely brought that into the net sessions, and we've been working on that in the background. I think we're pretty confident we're able to negate that.
Last night it was tears of joy for the hamstrung Elise Perry after her hot and cold tournament as she watched Australia beat South Africa in the semis.
Australia finds themselves into a home World Cup final.
Meg Lanning glued the Aussie innings together.
Meg Lanning decides to charge and she connects. Classic Lanning.
The captain made 49 as Australia scored 134 from its 20 overs.
Yeah, it's not my most fluent knock, but certainly nice to be able to contribute, and hopefully I can do that again on Sunday.
Rain reduced the chase to 98 off 13, and early wickets had the Aussies in control.
Catch it is the call. Meg Lanning takes a great catch, and Australia are fighting back here.
A 5-run win washing away the troubles of the past 2 weeks.
In times like this you could almost break away, but we've actually become really tighter and hungrier to almost prove people wrong.
Tim Morgan for 10 News First.
Fresh off a maiden ODI 50, Darcy Short believes staying in the middle order is his best shot of securing a spot at October's T20 World Cup.
If I do well in the middle order and contribute and finish games off in the one-day stuff, it's definitely going to hold me in good stead come towards the T20 World Cup.
Australia play the Proteas in a dead rubber tomorrow. There's no way to spin this. The Redbacks are all about pace. Their fast bowlers have taken all the wickets on day 1 against Victoria, and leading the charge has been Dan Worrell with 4 scalps.
He's pulled that around. And what a catch is taken down there by Joe Menny on the fence. And it carried all the way. Joe Menny fell over before the ball got to him.
Nearing stumps in the Shield, the visitors are 9 for 288. Australia is battling to keep its advantage against Brazil in their Davis Cup qualifier. There was plenty of fist pumps and flexing early after Jordan Thompson's straight sets win.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, Tom.
Australia's leading man John Millman hasn't been as fortunate. He lost the opening set to world number 113, Thiago Seyboth-Wild, but battled back to win the second in a tiebreaker. With 7 games left in the season, Reds boss Gertjan Verbeek is still working out what works best defensively. Adelaide's conceded the 3rd most of any A-League team, and the last time they played Western United, it turned into a 7-goal shootout.
We work hard for the defence as a team, and we're still searching a little bit what fits the best for this team.
Overseas, Manchester United dumped Derby out of the FA Cup with a 3-0 win. On your barks for play of the day.
They do it. That's terrific through the weaves. So tight over that obstacle. Clears that one as well. Up and down. Excellent over the seesaw. This is quick. Oh, just went through the tunnel correctly. I thought it was going to go the wrong way. How about that dog walk? That's good. Great contact at the end as well. Twisting towards us. Again, where's the next obstacle? Right up with the clock at the moment as things stand. A-frame, excellent. Good contact at the end of it. Crashing through the tunnel. It's going to be really quick. It's going to be so quick. 32.9 and beats it.
Let's pause it there and treat our furry friend for unleashing a record-breaking play of the day performance. We couldn't even get our dog to sit, Alan. In the footy at Noarlunga, goal apiece early going 3rd quarter. Gold Coast by 11 points.
Still time there?
Plenty of time.
Thank you, Will. After the break, we'll join a world of music and dance and weather. K3 Band.
I chat with tennis great and trailblazer Billie Jean King.
The time for talk is done. The time to race has begun. And the lights are out, we go racing.
It's time to get behind our Aussie Daniel Ricciardo.
He's blown them away.
As he takes on the world, the Australian F1 Grand Prix. Live next Friday.
Oh, look! Car! Stop! No, Sergey, this one! We go home in style!
Okay.
Hello, possums! We are meerkats! Sergey, who is this?
I think it's Priscilla, Queen of Desert.
You're delirious, darlings. I'm Dame Edna, international icon, Australian national treasure, and saviour of little possums. Meerkats! It pays to compare. Simples.
Domino's has taken deep pan to a whole new level. Crispier on the outside, fluffier on the inside, and deeper than ever. Share a Domino's deep pan today from just $15 delivered.
If you've smoked cannabis, don't drive for at least 24 hours. Drug drive and you'll get caught long after the high is gone.
Are you unable to work due to illness or injury? You could claim insurance as part of your super. Talk to Australia's #1 law firm today. Morris Blackburn Lawyers will maximise your claim. Call for your free super check now. It costs nothing to know where you stand.
Been to Woolies.
Get your Woolies worth on thousands of prices dropped across the store, like Huggies Jumbo Ultra Dry Nappy Pants, just $25 each.
That's why I pick Woolies.
Moto Adelaide, the home of BMW, Honda, Husqvarna and KTM. On road or off, adventure, new or used, and a huge range of parts, tyres, accessories, plus our service centre. Moto Adelaide, South Road, Melrose Park.
71% of us are afraid to go to the dentist.
So when was your last visit?
So, at Health Partners, with all our new extras, you'll get 100% back on a dental checkup. Health Partners, health insurance, done right.
Oh, I just went and got some milk. Just like a chocolate milkshake, only crunchy. Who won the race to the shop?
I did.
If your car got hit by hail, that could be 100% disastrous. So it's reassuring to know QBE Insurance is 100% committed to helping you. Call 133 QBE today.
WOMAD has just opened in Botanic Park. Kate Freeban, how's the weather shaping up?
Alan, the weather's looking incredible for the long weekend with plenty of sunshine here at WOMAD, where the gates have just opened and the first acts are about to hit the stages. Kicking things off tonight is the incredible Blind Boys of Alabama. They are 5-time Grammy winners with sounds from the deep south of the US. And just today, WOMAD announced Matt Corby will be in town to close the festival on Monday night, which should be amazing. Tonight's weather photo is from Innes National Park down at Stenhouse Bay on the Yorke Peninsula, where the water is aqua blue. Sarah posted it on her Sun Salt Sarah Instagram page, and she used our hashtag #SAWithKate. Overnight in Adelaide, it cooled off to 15 degrees, and today was a touch warmer than it's been so far this week. Our top was 26 degrees at 4 this afternoon, and currently it's 20 here in Botanic Park. Around the suburbs, it reached 23 degrees today at Elizabeth, 26 in Murray Bridge, 22 degrees in Glenelg and Noarlunga, and it hit 20 in Mount Barker. Around the state, temperatures were a touch warmer across the board, but still below average for this time of year. It got to 29 degrees in Coober Pedy, 25 in Port Augusta and Maitland, and 23 in Ceduna and Wyalla, while Clare reached 21. The top was 24 degrees in Renmark and Narracourt and 23 in Noori-Utpa. Port Lincoln and Victor Harbour had tops of 22, with 21 the top in Mount Gambier. Interstate Canberra had some light drizzle reaching 25, but apart from that, the wet weather cleared in the capital cities. 31 was the top in Brisbane, 28 in Sydney, 19 in Melbourne and 25 over in Perth. On the satellite photo, there's low cloud over the southeast of our state in cool southerly winds, and that's causing just the odd light shower. Most of our state is clear thanks to a high pressure system that's sitting well south of the Bight. Around the country tomorrow, the showers will return in Brisbane with a top of 30 and in Sydney too, where it should reach 24. Becoming sunny in the afternoon in Melbourne with a top of 21 degrees, while tomorrow should be warm and partly cloudy over in Perth, heading for 28 degrees. In South Australia, there is the slight chance of a morning shower on the lower Eyre Peninsula and a possibility of showers and thunderstorms developing in the far west. Apart from that, it will be dry and mostly sunny, with 27 the top in Ceduna, 26 in Wyalla, and Maitland should reach 24. The top's 25 degrees tomorrow through the Riverland, 23 in Port Lincoln and Narracourt. Mount Gambier is heading for 21, with 20 the top for Kingscote and 19 degrees in Victor Harbour. On local waters, southeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots will reach 15 to 20 knots in the early morning, with seas staying below 1 metre. Around the suburbs tomorrow, 26 for Elizabeth, 25 degrees for Glenelg and 24 in Murray Bridge, while 22 is the top in Mount Barker. In Adelaide, it's getting down to 13 degrees overnight, and then tomorrow we'll have a mostly sunny start for our weekend with a top of 25 degrees. Looking at the long weekend, sunny and 26 degrees on Sunday with sunshine through most of next week. Warming up to 28 degrees for Adelaide Cup Day on Monday, then 29 on Tuesday. Wednesday should reach 28, and then we're back up at 30 degrees by Thursday. I'll have more weather live from WOMAD later in the bulletin.
Police have revealed the details of a major heroin sting across the northern suburbs. 18 arrested in just 2 days. Adelaide's newest giant road project about to open with only one tiny hiccup. We'll take you on a tour shortly. And a fever frenzy has GPs overwhelmed, begging for more help as the demand for coronavirus testing grows. Police have smashed a major drug trafficking operation in the northern suburbs. Investigators have already made 18 arrests over the heroin and meth syndicate, and they're not stopping there.
A northern suburbs drug ring dismantled by police.
Not every day of the week we lock up 18 people for drug-related activity, so yeah, we'll say it's a significant number of people arrested.
Officers swooping on 24 properties in just 48 hours, seizing half a kilo of heroin, 70 grams of methamphetamine, more than $38,000 in cash, as well as weapons and stolen property valued over $50,000.
It's around about 5,500 street deals that we'll keep off the street. In relation to the methamphetamine, it's around about 700 street deals that will keep off the street.
14 men and 4 women aged between 33 and 40 are charged with various drug trafficking and possession offences. Police have been watching them since July.
These people have been coming to our attention for a period of time now. which resulted in us actually formulating a targeted operation to disrupt their activities.
Police say the investigation is ongoing and they haven't ruled out raiding more properties and making further arrests.
The police do take it seriously, that we will target you, that we will arrest you, that we will put you before the court to address community safety.
Kate Summers for 10 News First.
A group of quick-thinking tradies smashed their way into a burning Bridgewater home, fearing someone was trapped inside. Hannah Ford with the details.
The fire began at the back of the house before ripping through the entire home in just minutes. 3 tradies spotted the flames and the thick black smoke as they drove past the Omra Street home just after 11 this morning.
Is anybody home?
Fearing someone was inside, they sprang to action, smashing the window and the door down to get inside, but the fire was just too ferocious. They managed to disconnect the power before calling the firefighters.
Nobody's home, I went through.
It was just the kitchen on fire and we rocked up, and then within like 5-6 minutes the whole house started roaring and things were like exploding.
The roof collapsed, the home destroyed. Luckily the man who lives here alone wasn't inside. Other residents thanking the heroic tradies for helping their neighbour.
Really brave effort and commend them for that. They could have saved a life. Yeah.
The cause is still being investigated. Damage is estimated at $200,000.
Travel north of the city is about to get a lot easier with the opening of the Northern Connector from tomorrow morning. The $867 million 6-lane motorway will allow drivers to bypass Port Wakefield Road and Salisbury Highway. And just in time for the long weekend, it will allow easier travel to regions like the Barossa, Riverland, Yorke Peninsula, Mid-North and beyond. It completes the 43 kilometres non-stop north-south corridor. There has been just one tiny hiccup ahead of the opening though. External contractors placed a typo on one of the major signs, but the Transport Department says all will be correct tomorrow. A drunk driver has walked away from a crash after his car slammed into a Sturt home, flipping onto its roof. The Toyota smashed a front bedroom window at the Sturt Road house just after 5:30 this morning. Police say the 47-year-old driver from Marion recorded a blood alcohol reading of 0.07. The home's occupants weren't injured and say they're not angry at the driver, who returned later to say sorry. South Australian GPs are struggling to keep up with coronavirus. They're running out of protective gear and testing equipment while juggling concerned patients who aren't even at risk.
A big scare means big demand on all our health facilities. Dozens streaming into the RA's dedicated coronavirus clinic, while hundreds of tests are carried out statewide.
We're awaiting 15 test results for people that we think are at high risk of COVID-19 or at least have had a travel history that might be consistent.
But then there are those who face no threat at all, clogging up the system.
There's a number of queries from a worried community, and understandably worried community is becoming quite a problem, and it's becoming quite a load for all of us.
With cases rapidly rising locally, GPs have been bombarded.
Lack of enough equipment to test people, having to deal with a lot of phone calls and queries, and making sure that people who potentially could be infected don't enter our practices.
I also know that some GPs have had difficulty procuring the appropriate personal protective equipment, so my staff are working to look at how we can facilitate that for GPs.
SA Health also putting on extra staff to answer the phones. The communicable diseases line has been tied up with calls from travellers who were on the same planes as confirmed patients, one of who says hi.
I'm in pretty good spirits. They're looking after me wonderfully.
Chloe Boris for 10 News First.
The March long weekend brings tourists from all over the world to South Australia. But with travel bans in place and some holiday hotspots devastated by fires, local operators are bracing for a post-party economic hangover.
Mad March is officially in full swing and one of Adelaide's busiest weekends of the year is upon us. This year, on the back of the bushfire disaster and coronavirus outbreak, the tourism dollars brought in from Adelaide, the Fringe and the Adelaide Festival are more crucial than ever.
I think it's an important time for the industry. It's a challenging time for the industry.
The impact of the tourism industry cannot be overstated.
With overseas airline bookings down more than 50% in the past month, an international billboard campaign's been launched featuring several South Australian holiday destinations. But with more countries added to the national travel ban list this week, it's too early to tell how severely the local economy's being hit. Premier Stephen Marshall met with other tourism ministers in Canberra today as the federal government pledged financial assistance to businesses impacted by the drop in tourist numbers. But it's not clear just how much will be spared for holiday operators in SA. Once the festival parties packed up and left town, industry leaders say there's still plenty to see in our own backyard.
Get out and enjoy South Australia, support our tourism operators.
Taylor Ryan for 10 News First.
Children have been caught up in a series of reckless shootings across Sydney. Police still hunting at least one gunman.
A black Mercedes pulls up in a Revesby street and then reverses straight into the silver one behind it. The hooded driver jumps out, unleashing a number of bullets into a car driven by a 39-year-old father of two. Somehow he gets away, but the gunman continues to fire.
That car also, disturbingly, contained 2 young children.
A week earlier, just as disturbing, a house in Arncliffe is also targeted. Inside the front bedroom, a young mum slept with one of her 2 little girls.
She was next to me as we were getting shot at in that room.
The woman who asked for us to protect her identity says it was a gutless act from the gunman.
I think he's just a weak coward. Like, who would do that? A person that has no heart.
Whatever the shooter's motivation, police say no one deserves to be shot at.
We really want to stop these people before anybody, regardless of what their involvement is injured, particularly children.
Detectives have pored over the footage of both incidents, honing in on the unusual white interior of the black Mercedes. They say that suggests it's the same car used in both attacks.
And that it was wrapped with some sort of covering before the second offence.
Steve Hart for 10 News First.
The embattled Springbank Secondary College could be set to merge with nearby Unley High. With fewer than 170 students enrolled at the school, the Education Minister is considering shutting down Springbank by the end of the year.
Room would be made at Unley for those students. If there was another school that they felt was more appropriate for their needs, then we would make every effort to ensure that they were able to get into that school.
Only 7% of public high school students living in Springbank's zone are enrolled at the school. Marine researchers are just starting to discover an invisible toll from the nation's bushfire crisis. Stormwater contaminated by ash has proved a silent offshore killer.
On the floor of Botany Bay,
it was devastation. There was complete kelp bed loss. We literally could not find a sea urchin anywhere in the ocean from the surface all the way down to 5 metres of water.
Distressing images captured by the Abyss Project. The environmental research team conducts monthly checks of Sydney's inshore marine environments, including the harbour. But this time, they swam into graveyards.
And to swim through an ecosystem that I've normally gone to take photos of and really enjoy, and to just see all those animal carcasses just littering the ocean floor, there was a few tears when we left.
And pick up a whole handful of these surgeon spines, and it's like I was picking up the dead bodies of these animals, and it's just devastating.
Back on shore, they're now battling to find the killer.
From the moment you walk into the shore to about 5 to 8 metres, everything's dead. Everything's been pulverised. Wow. There's nothing left.
It may have been a perfect storm. Drought, fires and Sydney's recent megastorm flushing huge amounts of fresh water, pollution and toxins from smoke into the waters.
We really need universities, government agencies and big business to get behind us to find out what has gone on.
Thankfully, traditional dive sites in deeper waters are still thriving, but there's fears the inshore devastation will continue to rock the wider ecosystem. Ali Donaldson for 10 News First.
There are reports Meghan and Harry were booed as they embarked upon their final round of royal duties in the UK. That story is up next. And Easter Island loses a head to a runaway driver who lost his own.
Lisa serves up a powerful interview with tennis champ and feminist trailblazer Billie Jean King. That's tonight, 6:30.
Get your Woolies worth with Woolworths lean pork mince 500 grams, dropped to just $5.50 each.
That's why I pick Woolies.
Get the year off to a great start with 7 years warranty plus 2 years free servicing on the new Pajero Sport, now available with Expedition Accessory Pack. So hurry into Mitsubishi. The time of your life starts now.
Strains on joints and eyes on phones. Your body is the only one you own. He's clicking, twists and sprains. Spines now with aches and pains. Hurt, arthritis, stress, cholesterol. Your body is the only one you own.
You only have one body. Look after it every day.
Blackmores.
Introducing new Jumpstart by Light and Easy, the new program that will help fast-track your weight loss success in 2020 and have your taste buds jumping for joy. Jumpstart your 2020 weight loss goals today with Light and Easy.
Come on.
Get your Woolies worth with market value thin sausages 1.8 kilograms, dropped to just $9 each.
That's why I pick Woolies.
During the Nick Scali Autumn Sale, prices are falling. Save up to half price on quality furniture for a limited time. The Nick Scali Autumn Sale, on now.
Chemist Warehouse leaves you saving more with our amazing March catalogue sale on now. Get Wagner Fish Oil 1,400 capsules $9.99. Nutricare Pregma Plus Stage 1 or 2 800 gram $29.99. OptiSoothe Moist Heat Mask or Eyelid White $16.99. And any flower cosmetic from only $9.99. With the biggest range at the lowest price, shop at Chemist Warehouse and stop paying too much.
The Mazda stock clearance ends soon. Get the 7-seat Mazda CX-9 from only $45,990 drive away. See your local Mazda dealer today.
Bold choice.
Yeah. Bold taste.
Fanta, bold choice, bold taste.
Get your Woolies worth with market value burgers 1 kilogram pack, dropped to just $9 each.
That's why I pick Woolies.
It's just another day in camp. And then it changes. It's devastating for all of us. It's a tragedy.
The shock departure, 7:30 Monday.
One of Easter Island's famous buried heads has been smashed by a runaway driver. The driver crashed into the head known as a moai, pushing it out of the ground and demolishing it. Local leaders are demanding he be punished for the act, saying it shows a great lack of respect. Islanders believe the statues are spiritually connected with their ancestors. At least 10 people, including children, have died in a fire which broke out in a crowded market in Gaza. It's believed the blaze started in a bakery and spread rapidly through the tightly packed stalls. 58 people were also injured in the blaze. Rescuers are frantically searching the rubble of a 5-storey apartment building in Pakistan after it collapsed. Witnesses claim it was originally a 4-storey building but had another storey added illegally. Harry and Meghan have wowed fans at one of their last official engagements before leaving the royal family. As guests of honour for a charity close to Harry's heart, the couple stole the show, putting forward a united front celebrating the achievements of injured servicemen. But it was one of the winners who threatened to overshadow the couple. The Sussexes are due at one last event on Monday. Will Goodings is here with sport now, and is it getting any better for the Crows?
Much improved, I'm happy to report. Alan, Adelaide's come out in the second half, playing like a different team, with Brodie Smith dominant. The game is in the balance with a quarter to go.
Hugh Greenwood wanted to go head-to-head with Rory Sloane and didn't have to wait long.
Sloane comes in and lays a great wing tackle on Greenwood, who took him on.
The Crows showed some early jitters with mistakes at both ends, and those errors gifted Gold Coast the first goal.
Keeps it low and drills it.
They soon had a second thanks to some silky skills from Took Miller.
That was beautifully creative. That was a work of art from there.
The Suns were shining up until Darcy Fogarty put the Crows on the board.
Never in doubt.
The key forward was treating the trial game as if it was round one. Another not taking a backward step was Tom Lynch.
He split Lynch. Brodie ran straight through him there.
He managed to get up but had to be helped off the ground. Lynch soon returned to the boundary sporting a black eye.
He doesn't look, well, he's not concussed, he's coming back on, so just a split eye and that's it.
Nothing was going right either on the field until Seedsman launched a 50-metre bomb. Fisher Mackesy then kicked truly for his first goal in the tricolours as the Crows clawed back. Trailing by 10 points at half-time, the Crows came out flying. Ben Crocker got on the score sheet and was soon joined by former skipper Taylor Walker.
Kicks it out of the air, lock him in for round one. That's your second ruck.
Jace Kemp for 10 News First.
Port Adelaide's mixture of old and new has the group feeling bullish before their final pre-season game. Young prospects like Mitch Georgiades can lock in a round one spot with a strong performance, while older heads like Brad Ebert are out to rediscover fitness and form.
I believe that the group are in a really good position. We've had another pre-season together. We're a somewhat younger side, but we've also got some experienced players who are back this year that are in really good shape, and that gives you great optimism.
Robbie Gray passed a fitness test on his sore foot and will start the match. Our Aussie women say they've been practising for a rematch with India since their loss in the opening game of the T20 World Cup. The two teams touched down in Melbourne today ahead of Sunday's MCG final. The Aussies confident they now have the tools to combat the Indian spin attack.
We've definitely brought that into our net sessions. We've been working on that in the background. I think we're pretty confident we're able to negate that this time.
Australia booked its spot in the decider last night with a nail-biting 5-run win in a rain-affected match against South Africa. The honours have been shared on day one between the Redbacks and Victoria. Nick Maddinson, Marcus Harris and Sam Harper all made half-centuries. But Dan Worrell kept the Vicks in check, grabbing 4 wickets in his return to Shield cricket. Joe Mennie took 4 of his own and snared a catch while sitting down. At least one fan thought that was gold. Victoria all out for 292 at stumps. Jordan Thompson flexed his muscle in Australia's Davis Cup qualifier against Brazil. He won in straight sets to give the home side an early lead. John Millman didn't have it his own way in the second singles match. The world number 43 had to come from a set down to win and double Australia's advantage. The doubles and reverse singles will be played tomorrow. Trainer Danny O'Brien says his Melbourne Cup winner has come back bigger and stronger. Vow and Declare began his campaign to go back-to-back with a first-up run in the Australian Cup at Flemington.
A lot of Melbourne Cup winners, I suppose, haven't had a great body of work post their Melbourne Cup, so it's always that challenge to be the Melbourne Cup winner and then go on and it takes a good horse to keep winning, and it takes a really good horse to go to Wake Fraser and win. But we think this guy's got that improvement in him, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do tomorrow.
The 4-year-old will run in both Sydney and Brisbane before returning to Flemington for the first Tuesday in November. And Alan, that's all for sport tonight.
Thank you very much, Will. Hey, Reben has your long weekend forecast next.
The celebrities keep stepping it up with their best dancing yet.
That was fire.
It's the best I've seen you dance.
We are about to ramp the intensity up to an all-new gut-churning high.
Tell us how much you want this.
I want it so bad.
Yes, you could easily establish yourself at the top of the leaderboard.
Now they're taking their battle
to the schoolyard.
They'll relive the most memorable moments from their school days.
I was the only person in my year that went by himself to the formal.
The best dancing is still to come on Tam's Dancing with the Stars, Sunday.
Oh, the chips.
Happens every time.
Get your Woolies worth on great specials like Smith's Crinkle Cut Chips 170 grams, just $1.75 each. That's half price.
That's why I pick Woolies.
During the Nick Scarley Autumn Sale, the Otho TV unit was $15.90, now half price, $7.95. The Nick Scarley Autumn Sale, on now.
How can our team be engaged in treating like this?
He's crumbling before your very eyes.
Who's going to break first? It's going to be us or them?
I'd defy anybody to pick who was the best six-man. You're going to have to drop your captain.
When your back's to the wall, you'll fight.
That's the way we're going to win our fans back.
Come home to Springwood. A better environment, a better community, a better childhood, a better lifestyle, a better choice, a better home. Springwood in Gawler, a better place to live. Experience better for yourself. Visit today, myspringwood.com.au.
At Drake Supermarkets, we've got ingredients for fitness days with Mount Franklin spring water below half price. And for barbecue days with Australian Angus pure beef rump steak, $17 a kilo. Drake Supermarkets.
Ingredients for every day.
Meth can stay in your system for at least 24 hours. Drug drive and you'll get caught, long after the high is gone.
If your car got hit by hail, that could be 100% disastrous. So it's reassuring to know QBE Insurance is 100% committed to helping you. Call 133-QBE today.
This month at Discount City Carpets and Blinds, carpet one room installation is only $1. Carpet your whole house installation is only $1. $1 carpet installation this month at Discount City Carpets and Blinds. Discount prices every day.
During the Nick Scarley Autumn Sale, prices are falling. Save up to half price on quality furniture for a limited time. The Nick Scarley Autumn Sale, on now.
Hey, hon. Yeah? Oh, how funny. I'm in that aisle now.
Get your Woolies worth this week with great specials like half-price Nivea. Exclusions apply.
That's why I pick Woolies.
Up next, Australian coronavirus cases multiply as officials warn the worst is yet to come. She's a tennis champion and feminist trailblazer. Billie Jean King delivers a powerful serve. And if you're running low on loo roll, we'll tell you where and when you can grab a pack. The Project, next.
The sound of world music is echoing across the city tonight. Kate Freeban, what is the weather doing for WOMAD?
Well, Alan, the weather is looking absolutely ideal for the long weekend with plenty of sunshine here at WOMAD, and it's shaping up to be a big one. Today they announced a brand new headline act. Matt Corby will now close the show on Monday night. Well, the weather today was very warm around South Australia. We have a beautiful weather photo to show you. This one has come to us from Middleton, where Ant captured the magic shot from above, looking down at Night Beach. In the city overnight, our low was 15 degrees. Today reached 23 at 3 this afternoon, and it's currently 19 degrees here in Botanic Park. On the satellite photo, most of our state is looking nice and clear, apart from some cloud down in the southeast, and that's in cool southerlies, causing the odd light shower. The reason most of our state is clear is thanks to a high pressure system that's sitting well south of the Bight. Looking around the country tomorrow, the showers will return in Brisbane with a top of 30, showers in Sydney to reach 24, while tomorrow will be warm and partly cloudy in Perth, heading for a top of 28 degrees. In South Australia, there's a slight chance of a morning shower on the Lower Eyre Peninsula. and a possibility of showers and thunderstorms on the far west coast. Temperatures will reach 26 degrees in Whyalla and 25 in Clare. Maitland should reach 24. A top of 25 degrees in Renmark and 23 in Port Lincoln, Norriutpa and Narracourt. Mount Gambier is heading for 21, 20 is the top for Kingscote and 19 degrees in Victor Harbour. On local waters, southeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots will reach 15 to 20 knots by the early morning, and we're expecting seas to stay below 1 metre. Around the suburbs tomorrow, 26 degrees for Elizabeth, 25 in Glenelg and 24 in Murray Bridge. Noarlunga should reach 23 and 22 is the top in Mount Barker. In Adelaide, it will cool off to 13 degrees overnight, and then tomorrow we'll have a mostly sunny start to our long weekend with a top of 25 degrees. Looking ahead, sunny and 26 degrees on Sunday, and we're expecting sunshine through most of next week. It's looking really nice with temperatures warming up to 28 degrees on Monday and then 29 degrees on Tuesday. By Wednesday, we're heading for a top of 28, and then we are back up at 30 degrees by Thursday. So, Alan, after some cooler weather over the last couple of weeks, it's warming up again and looking perfect for our long weekend. Enjoy it. I'll catch you Monday.
Thank you very much, Kate. And that is Adelaide's 10 News First for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Tonight, Australian coronavirus cases multiply as officials